Let's make history. As I said on part one of this video, I thought the term Nuyorican started from Miguel Algarin and Loisaida, which for those who don't know is basically Alphabet City. But it didn't. Somebody on TikTok had messaged me and told me that, and then coincidentally, I was reading a book called Our Nuyorican Thing, and they mentioned it in the book. The term Nuyorican originally starts on the island of Puerto Rico, and it was a derogatory term to kind of poke fun at Puerto Ricans who were raised in New York City, who were not from the actual island, born and raised there. Miguel Algarin, along with Pedro Pietri and Miguel Pinheiro, they launched the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. So they made a whole movement out of the word and totally turned it into a positive thing. And check out my video on each three of those poets if you want to take a deeper dive into this, as well as part one. Also, Miguel Algarin was the one who came up with the official spelling. Because at first, when poets and authors and things wanted to refer to it, it wasn't a set spelling they had. They would just kind of wing it. With the success of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, the word took off and is now said worldwide. And it even encompasses more than just Puerto Ricans from New York. The term Nuyorican really is referring to any Puerto Rican who grew up in the States. Even if you were born in Puerto Rico, if you grew up, like all these guys, Algarin, Pietri, Pinheiro, they all were born in PR, but they were raised in New York City. So, you know, it's a difference. It's a bit of a difference. So even if you grew up, if you're Puerto Rican and you grew up in Chicago, or maybe you grew up in Connecticut, or maybe you grew up in Florida, you're still a Nuyorican. And not only are you still a Nuyorican, but you're also still a Puerto Rican, first and foremost. Let's not forget that, because there's also somewhat of a little playful rivalry where some Puerto Ricans like to say, oh, if you weren't born and raised on the island, you're not Puerto Rican, you're just a Nuyorican. But it's like, it doesn't matter, because there's tons of Puerto Rican celebrities who have made music and works of art that makes them legendary in Puerto Rican culture, and you'd be surprised many of them were not even born on the island. Look at Frankie Ruiz. He's from Paterson, New Jersey. So if you weren't born on the island, you don't have much experience with the island, you could still represent your culture.